we're doing this thing. I want to like live at the elementary school more right now because they're doing this thing called the 12 days of snacking, and they bring in food like every day.
Yes.
And like today there was like a whole like pho station, like make your
Oh,
own.
yeah.
Oh, dude, and it was perfect because I wasn't feeling good, and like nothing like a good soup going on,
I love the
and
restaurants
like
that title it like Pho King.
yeah, yeah.
Beautiful.
I like the creative ones.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, and then there was like lumpia, which is like my favorite thing in the world, and and then yesterday there was like cookies and stuff, and tomorrow they're
Nice.
bringing some like a whole Mexican food thing going on.
Oh, I'm gonna come to your school.
Yeah, man.
Yum.
Teachers know how to eat.
I guess I should get Audacity up. There we go.
All right. Let me know when you're ready.
I am good to go.
Okay, I was gonna shoot. Give me one more second. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Just want to have like my drive file up here.
Yep.
I guess I don't really need it. I need to get like a new computer, but I don't want to spend money right now.
Yeah, I understand that.
But it's like,
what kind of computer would you get?
Well, I would just like, do a whole desktop upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
But that would probably, I just don't really have that kind of money.
How much would that cost?
Well, I mean, I probably need a new motherboard processor, so we're looking at like a few $100s. And then if I really wanted to, I could get a new video card. But that's like another something.
Would it be under 1,000?
Oh yeah, I don't spend.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's good.
I'm not. That's why I don't. But it's good. It's fine. I can get a couple more years out of this thing, maybe.
Goals.
Probably not. But
financial goals. I texted my friends. I'm like, I'm adulting so hard right now, and I told them my credit score went up significantly, and I'm super excited.
Good.
Excuse me.
All right. Sorry, I was going to be more prepared, and then I slept.
Yeah, it's really okay. I just gotta get off around 6:45 the latest.
That's fine.
We're meeting people at Brew tonight at 7.
Brew. Miss Brew. And there's like the new one.
In Pasadena. That's where we should go. How long is that drive for you? Is that any different?
So like an hour.
It's about an hour for us. We'll plan that. Let's plan that sometime, though. And meet up at Brew Pasadena because they have a different menu. Yeah. Super, super cool place. You'll like it. We'll get it on the calendar.
Gosh. My web browser is so slow right now. I don't know what's going on.
Can you restart?
Well, no.
Suffer through it.
I don't want to restart just because.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Then I'll have to restart everything.
Okay.
And it's fine. I have this up, so at least I can.
You have your phone nearby? Switch to your phone.
Well, gosh. I don't know why this is so slow. I got to call the cable company.
Yeah, you said that the other week, that you're going to get them an earful.
Yeah, I just haven't been too busy. And calling the cable company is like the last thing I want to do when I get home.
What? You don't like talking to them? Well, if you need like any, I need to figure out what yours is called. Brendo Rage. I got to figure out what mine is. Mine's Chicago. I think that's what we call it. When I just let loose. Did I tell you what I did to Proactive?
Well, you talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, they totally kept sending John boxes after he would cancel. Like he would call and cancel. And finally, it happened 3 times. And the third time, I think the woman thought I was going to go to her house and murder her family. Like, I got really specific. as to what I was going to put in that box and send back.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, yeah, I hope that this is recorded.
Did they finally stop sending you stuff?
Yep, sure did. Got a full
That's
refund. And I said, I want a confirmation letter. I will sue the shit out of you. I went nuts. And John's like, oh my gosh. Which is kind of funny because I had this weird dream last night about my mom. And I dreamt that my mom was dating some like college douchebag. And I'm like, no. And so she introduces us. And I look at him. I go, oh, I look at my watch and go, I think home ec starts in like 4 minutes. And he's like, haha, you're so funny. And I walk up to him and he was like super tall. I'm pretty sure it's because I just watched wrestling before I went to bed. And so he's like 6'5" or something. And I walk up to him and I tell him, if you do anything with my mom, I will cut you from your throat down to your balls. Like I was super specific. And I told John, even in my dreams, I'm really specific of how I will hurt people.
Has your mom dated at all?
No, she's not even talking about it or anything. But the fact I like put her with some, I don't know, some college kid. So dumb.
That's funny.
Yeah, good times. We're going to have a segment of Veronica's dreams. Oh, the other thing we have to talk about tonight is political.
Oh my God.
We need a little WWE political corner.
I can't believe that's real.
Oh, that's
so many people thought. I had a friend that seriously was like, "Why do you guys keep posting these fake stories about Linda McMahon?"
No.
I'm like, dude, here's one from Reuters, so it's definitely real.
It's real. It was all over CNN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he was convinced that everybody got punked.
No.
I'm like, no, this is the world that we live in now.
What's happening?
Two people in the now you have two members of the cabinet, like Trump and Linda McMahon have both taken. You have members of the Oval Office that have taken Stone Cold Stunners on national television.
This is crazy.
It's a crazy world that we live in. But we'll talk about it because I have some thoughts.
All right. You tell me when.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. 1, 2, 3. You gotta get that sniffle in there.
I know.
Hello and welcome to another episode of MBWS. I'm Brendan Creecy.
And I'm Veronica Steele.
And man, I had to resist everything in my power not to like call or text you last night because Total Divas was batshit this week. If this is what's gonna happen every episode where they're like just ramping it up, because next week looks even crazier. I'm just like, I don't know if I can handle it.
I know. I was honestly thinking, like, why can't I binge watch this? Why can't you just air it all?
I know.
I just need to sit for 7 hours and watch this.
It's hard enough having to watch, not being able to like. Because like wrestling, it's like watching sports. It's live every week, so that's the only thing I watch on demand.
Right.
So now to have Total Divas, also it's a lie. It's you got one foot in this live world, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's fun though. It's fun for me because I have actually watched the matches that they're airing on this one, so it's fun. I'm like, oh, okay, that was around that time frame, and
you're getting into the time where you started watching.
Yeah, and so it's like I like this week because it was Eva like bowing out, which I remember when we talked about that, so it was cool. I'm like, all right, this is neat. Like now I'm piecing it all together, and this week was incredible watching their reaction to Paige's deal.
The look on everybody's faces when Paige brings up Rio to this party that they're having.
Like
holy crap.
I know.
Because first, I mean, because it is crazy. Like, it's crazy, right?
Well, Well, and to see how out of the blue it was for them.
Love knows no boundaries and
Clearly.
everything, but in their case, it's like, geez.
So I totally have like a backstory for this of Natty telling the producers of Total Divas, yeah, no way in hell am I getting involved in that storyline because that guy's married, he has kids, like, nope. And they're like, anyone, and Renee's like, okay, I'll do it. Like,
yeah, like they basically offer, okay, who's going to talk to Paige about this? Because we need to have somebody intervention with Paige.
Yeah.
And of course, it's like nice, sweet Renee. And I just felt so terrible because then Paige, of course, like goes nuts.
I kind of understood it just because right as soon as Renee said the other girls, I was like, no, it's like Cardinals say girl rules. You just don't tell them that other people are talking.
Your basic guy. She's like, everybody's talking about you. And that's like because she gets, she's already like a very defensive person and a very like, but it was like, because I think, who was it? Like, Natty was like, I didn't even know that she broke up with her fiance. And here's Paige saying, this is the first time I ever told somebody I love you. This is the first time I'm in love. And they're like, weren't you engaged to be married, you crazy person? Like, so you're saying you should not be near a relationship at all.
I loved it
when
when
they
they
go in relationship jail.
The restaurant with the skulls, and she's like my relationship history.
Well, that's true.
That was awesome. That was pretty funny. But
like,
I honestly felt like if they didn't get Renee talking with her, Paige would not have been in this show because I think she really was like, peace out, just stepping away from.
She was like, oh, are we getting ready to go back to England? I'm like,
right.
Oh, well, it is. I mean, I don't blame her for being frustrated because here you go from being the well, at the time it was the Divas champion when she was the champion. So you go from being the champion, you're on TV every week, you're basically main eventing the women's division, and then like she said, Shia was like out of storylines for like 6 months.
Yeah. Well, and I've never seen her bless you. I've never seen her wrestle.
Yeah.
Like I've seen tapes obviously, but I haven't seen her on Raw or SmackDown
just,
at all.
Took her off, and I think that kind of that made her go, and that happens in the WWE when they because they know they need some new blood, and they thought that the Paige just wasn't quite doing it. And she had lost some of that intensity that she had when she first started, and I mean, she's young. She's she gets distracted. She gets bored on the road. She's doing crazy stuff.
I just don't understand why are they required to be there when there is nothing for them to do back there?
Well, I think the main thing is, as you saw with Eva, is they can change their minds and bring people in at the very last second. They can change the card at the last second. And if there's injuries, if somebody isn't there, so. And also they are paying them to be there.
I know, but that's if you're not going to write them in. I just don't get it.
It's like having your understudies and stuff. Why do they, because they need people there in case. And also they're changing that show up until like right before it airs. So like again, like Eva got there.
Yeah.
And they were like, here's a match. Like if she hadn't done that, then that never would have happened, and who knows where she would be. So that's the kind of thing.
Well, who knows where she's at now? So.
Well, I think I mean, Jesus, now I think she did end up doing some movie or something. And
bye Felicia on that.
Well, now I don't know where she is. Who knows?
I was laughing so hard.
I am 100% convinced that when they were, because here's you talked about a fake scenario with the producers of WWE. Here's my fake scenario meeting. They go to Brian Kendrick and they're like, please, we need you to train Eva Marie. Nobody else will work with her, and we don't have it. And he's like, no, I'm not doing that. And they're like, we will sign you back in full time WWE. We will give you a championship belt. And you get full-time contract.
If you train
and
her.
He probably still had to think about it, because he's like, how long do I have to work with her? But
I don't know how she got to where she is. She's done nothing. I mean, I just don't get it. But okay.
I can't believe I'm saying that. That's so sexist, but I think it might be true.
I don't. Yeah. I mean, seriously, who is she sleeping with to get there? Because
I think she's just. I mean, she's got the Rock's manager now. She's hustling. She
Is she
I
though? I
I don't know.
mean, okay, because you look at Lana in the
Yeah.
show and how hard she's working. Same with Marie. Same. I
Well,
mean,
that's the thing. She doesn't have the same work ethic, and that's why everybody hates her.
right. I
And she
know,
still can't
and I
get
don't
that through
blame
her
them.
head. Because like yeah, like you look at how hard Lana's working, and you look at how hard even like they're all working, and like
Hmm.
Eva's just kind of like whatever. Like
Cruising. Well, and I
yeah,
don't blame them for being upset because honestly, when you're wrestling and you're doing that, you're putting trust in each other. You're
yeah,
putting your body and your
in
life in each
somebody
other's
else's
hands.
hands,
And
and
if you aren't practicing and keeping up on your skills,
yeah.
you're seriously just you're gonna injure somebody, and
I
it's
mean,
not gonna be you.
that's kind of what
That's
happened with
lame.
Cameron, and that's why she was let go because her
With,
focus was not on
mm-hmm.
And you watch Total Divas, and she's just in like another world when she was on the
Well, and I'm
show.
worried that's what's gonna happen with Paige, or if they're just
Well,
giving
I
her
think it
like
is happening.
extended
I mean, and then you look at
leave.
how like she's already gotten she's been basically double suspended.
Well, and
And
I'm wondering if that was because she showed up late.
well, no,
So I know.
those were wellness policy violations. She probably got in trouble for that too. But I
Mhm.
mean, she got double. She just had her second wellness policy violation while she was still suspended for her first
Oh, I
wellness
didn't know
policy violation.
that.
Oh
Oh my
yeah, we
gosh.
talked about it because
I forgot.
the second one is 180 days suspension. You go from 90 days
Jeez.
to 180 days, so that's where she is.
I
She's
wonder
been
if she's
freaking
doing it
suspended.
intentionally.
Oh, there. I mean, I
She
think the second
totally
one,
is. I
no
don't
doubt
blame her.
about
I
it, because
mean,
then she gets to be back out on the road with her pal, her puppy. That's what she
it's so
calls him.
gross.
It's
I
so freaking
know.
weird, dude.
I'm like, dude, that's
And like, she's a
like your
home
dad.
wrecker. She's a home wrecker. That dude has a wife and
So
kids. I'm not saying it's not his fault because he's also a home wrecker, and I'm giving them equal blame here. But there is a family in shambles now because of that, and that sucks because like he has kids. That's like oh, here kids, here's your new stepmom. She's only 8 years older than you.
so weird.
Yeah, like
Oh,
like what's
man.
that gonna be like at Christmas?
Well, and again, like
What's
people
the
just
Del Rio family Christmas like?
Del Rio Family Christmas.
Hey, I'm Paige. Let's get naked.
Yeah, she'll be there already. Oh man,
I can't do a Paige impression like Sarah, Marty, and Sarah Shockey,
no,
and
you're
Marty and
bad.
Sarah. She does
You
the
do
best
the
Paige impression I've ever heard.
you do the best Sasha impression. So.
Well, I learned it from her. I learned it from Sarah because Sarah like did this one episode where she basically taught everybody how to do it.
Well,
You just talk real slow, and I will become the WWE Women's Champion.
I even wrote that down. Sasha, I have
Charlotte
a note about
says
Sasha's
iron
speech.
sharpens iron. Well, let's have an Iron Women match.
It's like she doesn't want to mess up the word.
I think
So
that's what it is. It has to be.
she said,
And I mean, that's
you.
fine, but
Oh my gosh, I took a specific note because she said you this week. Like, I challenge you. And it was
yeah.
yeah. I'm
That's
like,
her thing.
why are you so lazy with your speech? Like,
I don't know. I'm scared that if I talk faster, I'll mess up.
Can you imagine
And
talking to her
nobody
on a cell
wants
phone? You're like,
that.
am I losing you?
Hello,
No.
Veronica.
She can't
How
even say my name in one breath.
are you?
I love it.
We need to go to Brew.
Bro.
Brew.
Bro. Oh my gosh, she should have been in 90210. She would have fit right in.
I'm really excited about that Iron Woman match. 30 minutes.
Yep.
Most falls.
I have a note. What is that? I don't know what that is. What's an Iron match?
Iron Man match is, and usually it's an hour long, and it's whoever gets the most pinfalls, count out submissions, whoever gets the most decisions in the time limit wins the match. So made famous by
Okay.
Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart at WrestleMania 12. They wrestled for an hour.
Whoa.
So, but Sasha's been in an Iron Woman match already with Bayley, and it was awesome.
In NXT?
In NXT.
Okay.
It was fucking awesome. And so I think her and Charlotte in a 30-minute match, it's going to be nuts.
Yeah.
I'm super stoked on that.
That's cool. All right.
We'll see. Hopefully, I mean, like, maybe I hope this is it for them and they move on to something else because, like, I mean, I'm not saying this is getting stale because I think all the matches have been amazing.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know. I want to see Bayley. I want to see who knows. I mean, Nia Jax is definitely positioning.
We just need a little bit of twists in it. I agree. Watching them wrestle is amazing, but the story is kind of like, oh, hey, they're at it again. Like,
but we got to keep talking about Total Divas because holy shit.
Yes.
So Paige was that was crazy. It seemed like she kind of reeled it back in, but as we know, like because this shit is still ongoing, that is not the end of this story.
Nope.
They kind of wrapped it in a little bow for that episode, and I'm like, I know how this goes, and I know it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into them getting arrested, her and Alberto getting in that altercation in Vegas. We're gonna see that.
Wait.
We're gonna see all the other shit that happens. Them going to Disney World because that's when the public found out was those Disney World pictures, and then so we got that. I wanted more of the Renee and Dean hungover Dean Ambrose on a date doing yoga on paddleboards. Awesome. And like I think that was just like, hey, let's get Renee in this hot one piece where you can just see her ass.
Yes.
That was.
And Dean's like, whatever. Like he did good. I was actually really impressed.
He was like he's got some definite coordination.
Well, and core. It takes a lot of core strength, which of course he has.
I could stand up on one of those things. Let alone do yoga on him. I mean, holy shit.
It kind of made me like him more because he did that. Like he did.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's so many guys who are like, I'm not gonna do that crap, you know, and he's not.
Well, next week I think we're getting a lot more Dean, so I'm excited.
I hope so. I like him. He's great.
Because they're great. Renee's great. She's obviously she is like the normal. She's like us. She's like
she is the Khloe Kardashian of the group. She's the one you can relate to. She's down to earth.
Like I said,
I would totally hang out with her.
Yeah, her and Lana. Drama. Her and Lana, I'm like totally down with.
Totes.
Everybody else is just like I can't.
I can't even. I could probably hang out with Natty just because of the cat thing. But that's
Natty's cool. I feel really bad. So there's like this whole big controversy going on where like they basically, because like Natty and TJ are still married. They're totally married and they're fine. But it's like TJ doesn't exist now. They don't want to show TJ in his super injured state because I think there's something going on with like potential. I think he might be like talking about lawsuits and stuff for his injury because I don't think he's going to wrestle again. I think he's done, and I think he's having trouble dealing with that. And so they basically, because in Twitter, he basically said he's like, I'm not on the show. And that's weird. Like that's
I don't know because the way not that he was like boring last season at all, but you could kind of tell he wasn't really into it. So I feel like it probably was one of his. It was his decision. Like he was like, yeah,
he didn't seem stoked about it on Twitter.
I don't know.
But I'm a huge Tyson Kidd fan. Because at first I was like, oh no, is there what's going on with Natty and TJ? It's like, no, they're fine. It's just TJ's not on the show at all. So we get more of Jim the Anvil Neidhart, which is fine because he's funny. That's her dad. And then her mom just kind of a space case, which is funny. Just very seems like very Canadian mom lady.
Yes.
Right. And but yeah, so the other crazy stuff that happened was between the Bellas and
Brian.
So you got to see their house in Aberdeen.
I love it. So is that the one that they built?
Yeah,
that's the one that they were talking about building?
I think that's the one. I think that was in Arizona, but I think this is Daniel's. I think it's his house.
Oh.
Like his childhood.
It's really cute. I really like it.
Because that's where he grew up in Aberdeen, but then he's got the whole orchard. So maybe it's when they built. I don't know. I know they have a house. I know they have houses there and in Phoenix, and and because the Phoenix one was where they got like last, or like I think it's going to end up. They talk about it. They talked about Talking Smack, but I think it's going to end up. They're going to talk about it on the show when somebody tried to break into their house and Brian put the dude in a rear naked choke.
Yes.
Got there, and like then like Bree almost beat the shit out of the dude.
Yeah. Dude, you don't break into a wrestler's home. Like, hello.
I would not mess with those people.
Heck no. None of them.
And then Brian told the story on Brian on Talking Smack said that he had to hold back Bree from beating the shit out of this dude.
Well, yeah. Oh, women in their homes. We are beyond. Okay, funny story. Kind of sidetracked. But anyway, a news something on like we're in like kind of a Nextdoor, you know, the Nextdoor app. Well, we have like a private group on Facebook for our neighborhood, and so we're in that. Somebody posted a video from ABC7 about like this group of guys. One will dress up like a UPS delivery guy with a package, knock on your door. As soon as you open the door, he kind of puts the package in front of you to like sign or whatever, and his cronies come running in with guns and they rob your place. So this is a thing happening, right?
In Irvine?
In Irvine! There's, oh my gosh, there's crazy stuff happening in Irvine. Anyway, so John and I were working from home, and there was a knock at the door, which is random because we're on the 3rd floor. We're in an apartment. So he goes to get it, and no lie, I was thinking, and he closed the door because I had the cats in here. So we didn't want the cats to get run out. I turn on the cameras while he's out there, and he comes back pretty quick and stuff. He's like, you turn on the cameras? I'm like, yeah, because if there's some asshole out there like gonna kill you, I will barricade. I already had a plan in place of how I was gonna barricade myself in. What I was gonna grab, I had like a lighter for for candles. I'm like, I'll burn the crap out of him. Like, and John's like,
it wasn't the killers.
It wasn't. But John's like, I was gone for like 30 seconds. I go, you have no idea how protective I am. So I get it. Bree, I'm with you 100%.
Well, Bree was a little overprotective of Brian, and she told, because Nikki came to Aberdeen to spend some time, kind of bury the hatchet, because they had that huge fight on Total Bellas.
Yep.
And I mean, Bree had, I mean, I was totally on Nikki's side, like, which is rare. Because I'm like, she's making an effort, and
oh yeah, totally.
And then like the idea to like say like, because the whole thing that almost caused another big blowout was Bree basically told Nikki, you can't talk about wrestling at all, and like I get it, but I also am like, Brian's a big boy, and also what it ended up was like, what the hell else are they going to talk about? They have nothing.
I know. Okay.
And like because then when Brian straight up asked her to her face, like, how's your comeback going? And then she's like, what am I supposed to do? Just like Bree's shooting her looks.
Yes.
And like Bree's trying to, then like Nikki's trying to ask Brian to help train her for her comeback, which is a very like, I thought that was really sweet. And like, of course, and as she pointed out, like, of course she's gonna pick Brian. He's like the best wrestler of all time.
Totally.
And she's her brother-in-law, so of course. And I'm sure Brian was stoked, and he did seem really stoked once they got over it. But I was like, okay, I get it. Like Bree's because she doesn't want her husband to sink into this deep depression, because that sucks.
So I have multiple thoughts on this. One, I don't fault Bree at all, because
I don't fault either one of them.
I trust. No, I don't either. But
Bree was coming.
I totally
like
understand where Bree is coming
from a good place, but I think it was a little.
And
I don't think she thought it through.
Marriage. They've talked about this multiple times, that they have gone through his depression multiple times in their relationship. So I trust that she would know what his triggers would be, and that she doesn't want that to go any further. So I'm right there. I think where she just went a little too far is, if it were my sister, I would have said, if he brings it up, you can talk about it.
Yeah.
Just you don't bring it up. But she was like, none of this, none at all. And I'm like, that's not cool. Now, on the point of what else are they going to talk about? I'm sorry. When you are a grown-ass adult and this is family, you put down your phone and stop taking selfies,
Oh yeah,
and
all
you
the
start
selfies.
participating
They're at like
in
this
other
beautiful
people's
nature reserve,
lives.
and all Nikki
Yeah.
is thinking about is like, I need this selfie, and that's kind of just showing you what Nikki world is. But I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
I mean, I
just
get it. They all, because like Instagram and stuff is a big part of their, that's their brand, that's their life, that's how they, that's their bread and butter.
I get it, but at the same time,
When you're with your family having like a nice family outing and that's all you're
yeah.
doing.
Well, and again,
Well, you can tell
can't.
Brian was getting pissed off.
Yeah, but you cannot play this card of, oh, well, what else are we going to talk about? All we have is wrestling. Then how shallow of a person are you?
Well, she obviously is very shallow.
I know. I don't know. I just have no respect for that whatsoever. Like that, she lost a point for me on that one because I'm just going, you are a grown woman. Like, this is called interacting. I get it when it's strangers or like distant friends where you really don't need to bend over backward. This is family.
When you can't figure out how to talk to your brother-in-law, you might have problems.
Gosh. Give me a break. I can't even tell you. Like, there are things that I am not that. Let me tell you. Finances don't really do it for me, but my brother-in-law is interested in money and the stock market. So we talk about it and I engage with it and I've learned a lot and it's fun. I enjoy talking about that with him. Before this, I knew nothing about WWE, but in getting to know you and learning more, this is awesome. This is so much fun. I never would have done that had I just like been in my bubble and played the, oh, well, we have nothing in common card. That's crap. But I will say my favorite quote of the entire show this time came from Nikki Bella when she couldn't remember whatever the scene was about a tree falling in the woods.
Oh my God.
I don't think, and how she's like, I don't think it makes a sound.
I loved at first Brian's like, wait, what? And then when he figured out what she was trying to talk about, he laughed so hard.
I know.
Because she was trying to be like, if a tree falls in the woods and there's no one there to hear it, doesn't make a sound. But she's like, she thought she's
butchering
like,
it.
Trees, she was like, when they don't make a sound when they fall, right?
When they fall.
And like, and everyone's like, what are you talking about? That's not real. Like that's
I know that one really got me going. Like I was just laughing.
It would make a sound.
It would make a sound.
Oh my God.
So that was my quote for this show this time. That one just, oh man.
Yeah. And then
that honestly, that's up there with Jessica Simpson Chicken in the Sea. I'm sorry. It was so that level.
Well, I think we're gonna get a lot of those. Nikki is on that level of. Man. To be fair, like Bree, they both say some pretty ridiculous stuff. Like, I love that they're constantly having to look up the definitions of words on their phone.
What was it?
I can't imagine
an olive branch.
Oh yeah, like she thought a literal. She was gonna buy him a literal olive branch and give it to him, and Brian would have been like, "What the fuck am I supposed to do with this?"
And when she told him, he's like, yeah, those don't grow here.
Yeah. Well, then it's also like, what am I going to do with a branch?
Oh, it's my favorite. Honestly, I was kind of hoping that they were going to go to the grocery store and buy olives. Just
that would have been amazing.
Give him a jar of olives.
I got you some olives.
Because I couldn't find a branch. Oh my gosh. Great episode. Loved it.
Well, then there was also Eva. Maurice actually gave Eva some really good advice, and Eva got herself booked on Raw, which was crazy. I mean, that takes some serious balls.
Yeah, it does.
To like go up to one of the producers, which was Road Dogg. He's a long time. He's a WWE veteran, and to basically be like, I have these ideas. And here they are, and then they were like, "This is great. Do you have your gear?" And she was ready. She flew herself out there. She brought her gear, and she was in a match. And like, kudos! I can't believe I'm saying this, but kudos to Eva Marie.
Yeah,
for taking that initiative. I respect that. I respect that a lot. That shows me that maybe she does care. Maybe she does have some drive that I haven't seen before.
And the guy that she was talking to, I don't know his name, the tall guy who's kind of bald. But I appreciated his advice of like, hey, just so you know, don't do this often because it's frowned upon. Which I totally think is great. Like,
it makes sense. To be, because it's Yeah, but sometimes you have to do that to like, because I mean, like they're not using you. Because I mean, if you look at like the dichotomy of like Eva Marie, the way she's handling it, and then the way Paige is handling it by being late and being crazy, and so like like hey, kudos to you, Eva, for doing the right thing,
Yeah.
and sticking at it. Your husband's still a total douchebag, and but then the thing that's sad is that we know where this is going because we're getting to where she does get suspended after making their big SmackDown debut, because it seemed like they were really getting ready to push her pretty heavy, and then so we'll see what happens.
And then not.
And then other things I noticed from this episode: one, Paige called Sami Zayn by his real name. I don't. It's hard. It's easy to miss. I didn't notice
that
because his real name is Rami, and she said Rami. I had to rewind it a couple of times. I'm like, I think she said Rami. Oh, that's awesome. That was cool. Because you see him and one of the producers giving her shit for getting there late. Sammy was like, "Oh, you can get here whenever you want," and I was like, "Oh shit!" Oh!
That was awesome.
Because that's got to suck for these guys because they're getting there like hours before, and then Paige is like strolling in like wow, like willy nilly. That's not a good way to endear yourself to your coworkers.
Totally.
At all. Renee's a sweetheart. I loved. They caught a really great candid moment where like Rusev was like teasing Lana about something, and it was just really sweet. I almost did like just a cute little married couple thing. Although they're not married yet, I guess now they're still engaged at this point. But I don't know. I think Rusev knows what he has, and I think he's
I think so too.
A really sweet, devoted like life partner, because again, I think he knows what it's like. He's the luckiest dude in the world. Because he seems like a big teddy bear.
Yeah, he does. I like him. Really okay, so that kind of brings up.
That's a good segue to this whole. So this week on Raw, Lana basically seduced Enzo, and as soon as they were doing the hotel room thing, I knew what was coming.
Oh yeah,
because this is a fairly common wrestling storyline. The ambush when you think you're gonna get a little something. It's happened before.
Oh my gosh, let's take a minute. I feel like we need a moment of silence to honor Enzo's penis in his underwear.
But I thought that was pretty.
I actually had to rewind it. I'm like, that is something. Wow. And John's like, no, they wouldn't show that. He was in the kitchen, and I'm like, I'm rewinding it, sir. You come over here. And he comes over. He's like, yeah, that's totally his. Like,
wait, what?
I mean, you didn't, like, it wasn't hanging out. Oh, there was penisage very clearly seen in the underwear. I was a fan because
when he took his pants off?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Enzo, let me give you my number.
Enzo's equipped.
You can get a hold of me on Twitter at _ Veronica Steele.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing that was super. I'm like, okay, we've left. I'm sorry. I don't know how they're going to spin this, but we have left TV PG territory.
Oh, yeah. Like, I know.
There had to have been some pissed off parents on Monday night.
Yeah,
they're letting like their kid watch it.
They're really pushing the boundaries here.
Mark, or I think it was Steve, brought up an interesting point, because this gets to our other big news story this week of Linda McMahon being appointed to Trump's cabinet as Secretary of Small Business Administration or something. I don't know. Small Business Affairs. Because when Linda was running for Senate, they really toned it down. Like really, because they're in the public spotlight. So I'm wondering, once those Senate confirmation hearings start, are they going to tone down the product again? We'll see.
That's awesome. Yeah, good point.
Especially because now that I'm sure once, because I think they divested Linda of all her, like she's not part of the company anymore because again, like, if she was actively still like working, there's no way she would get confirmed, because that's one of the reasons when she was running for office, her opponents used every gross thing WWE has ever done to against her, and it totally worked.
Wow.
Because again, like it's crazy. This is
Yeah.
crazy. Like, yes, Linda McMahon took a small, tiny family-owned business and turned it into $1 billion public corporation with her husband, and Linda did play a big part in that behind the scenes, huge part. But I still think it's batshit crazy that. But hey, that's what happens when you donate $9 million to the Trump campaign,
right? Shocking.
And this is where I feel a little dirty because like some of those dollars were probably my dollars. And that's where you kind of got to decide those. Am I okay with that? And I'm like, I'm not okay with not watching wrestling anymore.
So I can't wait to see the political signs. You know that people are going to start making political signs for this, like make WWE great again or something.
Trump is a WWE Hall of Famer.
Oh my gosh.
He's in the celebrity wing, but still, it's disgusting.
Yeah. No.
And now she and so where I don't know how I feel about. Some people are going to like, I can't watch anymore. I can't give them money because again, like a little bit of my money went into into that. But hey, you know what? That's how much I love wrestling.
I know, but do you know? Okay, but think about your paychecks. Think about.
Well, think about everything.
Just everything. Money circulates. It's just how it works.
Like when you start going down that road of like, I want to like, and that's where I would never tell people what to do because again, like, because of our corporate world, like your money is going places you don't want it to go.
Right.
That's just.
Oh my gosh. What's that website? I can never be a boy. Do you know what I'm talking about?
What?
There's some liberal website. Is it Be a Boy or Be
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's some liberal website out there, and right now my institution keeps getting shamed on social media for advertising on it, which we do not. It is another university with the same name as us who's doing it, and it's like this constant, that's not us. That's not us. Also, like if people just Googled, they would find the institution because it's their logo.
When you start getting mad about where money is going, I think you really need to start taking a look. If you're being vocal about it, I guarantee you're being a giant hypocrite because like you're probably your money again. Like if you buy things, like you can't. I don't know. I think when you get that's a really slippery slope.
That was I don't know if you watched John Oliver. Late Night with John Oliver, which is fantastic. Cannot get enough of it. But he had the best idea. He said if you have friends or family who are like super like what was it, Trump support or anti-Hillary supporters, you know, like they like the ones who are like on the extreme.
Yeah.
Like for Christmas, you can give money towards a charity like Planned Parenthood in their name.
Right now, Mike Pence is the biggest donor to Planned Parenthood because everybody's making donations in his name. But like, and
that's so.
But yeah, so like, back to this like Linda McMahon thing. That's crazy. But then that ties into, so we were talking about Lana and Rusev. We were talking about Enzo. Because that was like that episode should have been like TV.
Yeah, TV. That was so nice.
That was because like you got to figure all those little kids. I'm sorry, like some kids had a sexual awakening on Monday night.
In his underwear, like
Enzo was in his underwear. Lana's like really
like busting out.
All over the place. Like, dude, like.
I'd be so uncomfortable. I would be, I mean, granted, if I look like Lana, I would be such a slut. Well, anyway, I'd be just so uncomfortable because you know that they're friends. Like,
yeah. And you saw in Total Divas, she was very self-conscious about herself.
Yes.
Like,
well, I wonder why.
Because, and then one of my other favorite small little scenes in Total Divas, because those little moments, the unscripted moments that they catch backstage are always my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Because it does give you, that's why I tell people that are like, because I've had some people like, why do you watch Total Divas? I'm like, you're not going to get, like, yes, it is a reality show, and yes, it's probably mostly fake, but you're still getting you're catching these backstage moments that you're not going to see anywhere else. I feel like every hardcore wrestling fan, I think they would love this show because you're getting this look backstage that you're not going to find.
Well, that's my favorite part. Yeah. For sure.
And it's really exciting. So one of the things that I saw was when it was Renee and Lana they parked their car and then they're walking in that parking lot. And some old dude walks past him, and then he does the most obvious double take to check out Lana's ass that I have ever seen in my life.
Oh, I'm totally gonna rewatch it now.
It was at the very end.
Yeah.
Like they're about to get to the arena, and this old dude, he walks past him, doesn't even realize, and then he just turns around, like, oh, like just full on.
That's awesome.
Really funny.
Oh, it is funny.
And like, yeah, because they're like because they're talking about Paige and like what to do, and gosh, I love them. I want a Renee and Lana spinoff.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I mean,
yeah.
Oh yeah, and then I told you this. You got to watch it. It's on WWE Network. But Renee has a show called Unfiltered where she does an interview, and this week she interviewed Enzo and Cass. And
I need to
she had them play the dating game with each other. Like it was really funny.
Awesome.
It's a great show just because she's great. She interviewed Cena this week. I haven't watched it yet. I really want to watch that. And John Cena's on SNL.
I can't wait
this weekend. The previews are really funny.
About on Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on Wednesday.
Because
we're recording on Wednesday next week because I'm going to be at NXT on Thursday and you're going to be at a work thing.
Yeah. Mine's not.
I'm going to be at NXT with Mark and Steve and Riverside.
And you're going to post pictures to our group because I want to see.
Oh, yeah, because it's a small venue, like 1,200 people small.
That's so
cool. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
What shirt are you gonna wear?
I'm gonna wear I wear my every NXT event. If Nakamura is there, I'm wearing my Nakamura shirt.
There you go.
And I might get a new Nakamura shirt. Because since we have our seats now, when we get there, I think Steve and I are just gonna get right in line for merch. Because you've seen the merch line. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But since we're not in general admission and we have to fight for like a standing room seat, since we have actual seats in the balcony, I think we're just going to get right in line because they also have, at least in LA, they had I wish I had been able to get it. They had like a limited edition poster of the match card. They also had these signed Nakamura posters that were awesome.
Wow.
And so I might get a couple new shirts. I think I want to get a Ty Dillinger shirt. He's the perfect 10.
Awesome.
I think they're teasing his calling up to the main roster because he's been talking shit with The Miz on Twitter.
Oh, cool.
Dude, The Miz burned him so hard. He said, "Perfect 10. Does that mean is 10 the number? Because that's the number of years you've been in developmental. When are you even gonna make it up here for me to kick your ass?" And I was like, my other.
Tells you what a nerd I am. I totally thought he was going to make a binary joke. I was like, too. It's The Miz.
My other favorite tweet this week was Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, if you're not following Kevin Owens on Twitter, everybody needs to do it because he's amazing.
What's his handle? Do you know?
I think it's at Kevin Owens.
Okay. Straightforward.
But let me verify that because
I'm looking it up.
Not 100% sure.
Yeah, Kevin Owen RT.
That's not right.
Well, that's the one that has the verified. Oh, that's definitely. But that guy's verified too. So if you want,
that's Kevin Owen.
I know.
Oh, it's Fight Owens Fight. Sorry, Fight Owens Fight.
Fight Owens Fight.
Oh, he says he may delete Twitter. No. That's what he said on the 6th, but then he still. Oh, because okay, so here's his tweet. Can action be taken against Roman Reigns for tagging me in a tweet? Absolutely uncalled for. Because he got all mad that so Roman tagged him in a tweet, and then Kevin's like, now I have to see all these. He said nothing I ever did is as cruel as WWE Roman Reigns tagging me in a tweet and having to see his idiotic fans' mind-numbing replies. All caps, the worst. And then he retweeted all the dumb tweets.
That's awesome.
Like, because some of there's a Facebook page called LOL WWE Universe, and it's basically just making fun of all the dumb things WWE fans tweet.
Oh, that's great.
There's some there's a lot of people that still think it's real, and there's a lot of people that tweet really dumb things to wrestlers.
So wait, what is it called? It's called LOL.
It's LOL WWE Universe. I don't know if that's
totally.
I saw it on Reddit once. I don't know if it's still a thing, but it was just people making fun of dumb.
Oh, I want it to be so bad. No, it doesn't seem to be.
Well, anyways.
One day. Okay, that's great.
So the other thing that happened during the Lana Rusev thing was Lance Storm tweeted during that match or during that whole segment.
That's good.
So let's pull that up. He tweeted that Macho Man Randy Savage, so you know who that is, right?
Yes.
Once said to me, I did an angle with my wife, and I don't have a wife anymore. So that was kind of his saying, hey, you might want to be careful. And then
I need the background on that. What happened?
The background on that, are you familiar with Macho Man Randy Savage?
Not super, but
he was
I heard the name.
One of the all-time greats. He was right there with Hulk Hogan.
Okay, in that era. Okay.
And his manager was Miss Elizabeth, who he was married to, but they did not. They in the wrestling world, nobody it was not. They were not. It was not. They didn't know. Nobody knew that they were married. Well, I mean, if you were in the know, you did, but he did. Yeah. It wasn't like, this is my wife, Miss Elizabeth. This is just my manager, Miss Elizabeth. They got married. Then in 1991, so at a certain point, Macho Man went heel again, because he was heel at first with Miss Elizabeth. Then he turned face. Then he turned heel. He turned a lot. But at one point, he became the Macho King, Randy Savage, and he got a new manager, Sensational Sherry, and she was evil, and she was like the anti-Elizabeth, and but then when he had a retirement match with Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 7, and Ultimate Warrior beat him, and at the end of the match, Sherry started beating Macho Man up, just started beating him up, and Miss Elizabeth, it's a great wrestling moment. I remember as a kid, it was a big deal, and even Dave Meltzer gushed about it, and he's normally very cynical about this stuff. So Miss Elizabeth comes out of the crowd, and we had not seen her in the WWF in like a year or two, and she came out of the crowd, saved Macho Man, and then they reunited, and everybody just went. If you want to see a crowd going crazy, you should go back. You should look it up. It's really sweet. It's a really good wrestling moment. And so that happened, and then that SummerSlam, this is great. You're not gonna believe this. So at the time, Hulk Hogan was in a feud with Sergeant Slaughter, who the All-American. He was a G.I. Joe figure come to life. He became this was during the Gulf War, and he became an Iraqi sympathizer. So it was Hulk Hogan representing the United States and Sergeant Slaughter representing Iraq. I shit you not, this is a thing.
My gosh.
So then they had a big match at WrestleMania 7 where Hulk Hogan beat Sergeant Slaughter for the title. Okay. And Sergeant Slaughter had beaten Ultimate Warrior for the title at the Royal Rumble that year. And so Royer had beef with him too. So at SummerSlam, they build SummerSlam, and this was a big deal. I'm not even this is so weird. It was billed as the match made in heaven, which was Macho Man and Elizabeth's wedding. And then it was the match made in hell. And that was Sergeant Slaughter and General Adnan and Colonel Mustafa, which were his managers. Colonel Mustafa was the Iron Sheik. General Adnan was another Adnan. Oh my god! Adnan Khaleesi, and
none of that would pass
those guys versus Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan, which was the dream team. They're teaming up. So that's was the match made in heaven, and you can just imagine your Vince McMahon voice, the match made in heaven. So that happened. And then Macho Man and Elizabeth had already been real married for they got married in 1984.
Okay. So
1991, and everyone's oh, they're married now. And then soon after their in-ring wedding, things got real bad in their marriage and they got divorced like a year later.
That happens a lot after people renew vows, so I'll chalk
And they
that
did
up
a
in that
whole
category.
angle where, oh dude, and then this was one of the all-time other goofiest things that ever happened in wrestling. So after SummerSlam they had like a wedding reception, and so they show the camera, they had cameras there, and Macho Man and Elizabeth are opening up gifts, and and they open up a gift and a snake comes out of
Oh,
and then it bites Macho Man,
no.
and then this was
On his inner thigh, and she had to suck it out.
well, so
It's PG.
this was the big heel turn for Jake the Snake Roberts. Who you might remember him.
Yes.
Carried a snake to the ring. So now he, instead of having a python, he had when he turned bad, he had a cobra. And he actually, so then they went on, there was a big thing. So now like Macho Man has to come out of retirement to fight Randy Savage for Elizabeth's honor, you know, because he tried to attack her with a snake at their wedding reception.
Sure. Jeez.
Oh, and he was also teamed up with the Undertaker at the time. Randy Savage. I mean, Jake the Snake was. So they're like bad.
Okay.
They're two bad guys. And so Jake the Snake would go on for this epic feud with Randy Savage. It got like a little too real, where Randy Savage got really mad at Jake the Snake, and so they had to stop it because it got a little too real. Because at one point during this feud, I'm not even shitting you, Jake the Snake full on slapped Elizabeth during a match.
Oh my gosh!
Oh yeah, it got real crazy.
On accident or like?
Well, I think they did it on purpose. Like it was but then Randy Savage got really upset.
Yeah,
and they led to some real tension between them. So, and then shortly after that is when Elizabeth and Savage got divorced for reals.
Did she? But she didn't hook up with another wrestler or anything.
Not till later, where she ended up dating Lex Luger. And this is where things get sad, because you have to realize when you're talking about wrestlers from the 80s, a lot of those stories end real bad.
That's so funny.
So Miss Elizabeth,
crazy.
She was when Randy Savage jumped to WCW. WCW ended up hiring her, and they did a lot of stuff with like them, even though in real life. So it added a lot of intrigue because everybody knew they were divorced in real life, and then like Ric Flair stole her away, and they kind of did that, and then but then she started dating another wrestler, Lex Luger. And
I'm like, whoa, they really went for this.
In real life, they started dating, and they were both really into drugs. And sadly, when Lex Luger was too high to do anything about it, Liz overdosed and died. And then we lost Macho Man a few years ago as well. So they're both gone.
Wow.
They're sad. But so then I made a really off-color joke in the thread saying Kevin Sullivan would probably have a lot to say about that, and that probably went right over your head.
Totally.
Are you familiar? So this is going to get dark for a minute, but you wanted to talk about this.
I do.
And this is wrestling history, and
it is.
Are you familiar with the Chris Benoit situation?
No.
So you might have heard because this made national news. It was a big deal in 2000. I'm gonna get this wrong if I don't look it up, and somebody's gonna call me
out
on it because I want to know. I want to get the year right. I want to say it was 2007 because that's when I really stopped watching wrestling.
Okay.
Yes. So Chris Benoit was a Canadian wrestler trained in the Hart Dungeon. And he was one of my favorite wrestlers, period. He was amazing. He wrestled in Japan. He wrestled in WCW. He wrestled in WWE. And he was a WWE World Champion. He won the world title at WrestleMania 20. He beat Triple H and Shawn Michaels. He was just one of the best technical wrestlers out there. You could ask anybody. He's amazing. And then in 2007, one day, he does not show up to a WWE pay-per-view that he was supposed to appear on. And they don't know what happened. And then first, and then this is what gets real bad. So the news comes out that him, his wife, and his kid were all discovered dead, and they're home.
Mm.
So WWE's like, oh, that's horrible. And then then on the Monday Night Raw, they do a tribute show to Chris
Yes.
Benoit. And this is where things got real bad, because if they had waited just a little bit to get as the police were investigating, they would have discovered that Chris Benoit murdered his wife and son and then
Oh
killed
my
himself.
gosh.
So then WWE had to backpedal because they just gave a tribute show for a guy that murdered his wife and his son and killed himself. And now, and it's you will go down an internet black hole if you dig into this, because people are still arguing about what was the cause. If it was because there was roid rage, there was concussion. Like a lot of people say at CTE, because like there's some doctors were saying that he had the brain of like an 85-year-old man with dementia, and that came into play. I don't know. The bottom line is, my favorite wrestler of all time killed his wife and his young son.
And WWE gave him.
And so WWE basically, going forward from that, WWE basically, Chris Benoit does not exist.
Wow.
He is not.
So did they ever address, like, the following week? Did they, like?
Well, okay, so on Tuesday.
Well,
no, on Tuesday, what happened was Vince McMahon, right away, he comes on whatever show it was, and they were like, we apologize to the family and everybody, and going forward, Chris Benoit we will not be mentioning him again.
Awesome.
Because this is and then they did it. And
nightmare.
And then they basically stripped him. If you went back and watched when they made new videos, like going forward, he didn't exist. Like he wasn't. His matches didn't exist on them. If they had WWE 24/7 back then, if you try, like his did not exist.
If you tried.
So this was where, when the WWE Network came out, it was a big deal, because everyone's like, is Benoit going to be in it? Because they have old WCW stuff, they have Nitro, they have everything, and they made the decision, which I think was the right decision, because you can't erase the past, no matter how hard you try. And yes, this is a tragedy. So now they have what is called the Chris Benoit disclaimer in front of everything that he's on, in front of any other thing that might be considered controversial, where they say, WWE, this does not reflect the opinions and views, and these are just characters and parental discretion advised.
I think that's good. I think that's fair. Again, you can't erase his career. You can't deny that he was affiliated with you guys.
This wasn't some jobber. This was totally but it is weird watching old Nitros, because this was the thing that I was going to talk about, and I'll do it real quick because we're running out of time. But so, Chris Benoit's wife, Nancy, was a valet named Woman who for years was married to wrestler Kevin Sullivan. Kevin Sullivan became the booker in WCW, which the booker is the person that books the matches, writes the stories. And this was a good idea on paper, because he got into a hot feud with Chris Benoit, and it was really clicking because they both wrestled a very aggressive, brawling style. They would have these epic matches where they fought all over the arena. And then to add a little spice to that, he had Chris Benoit basically in storyline steal women away from him. So in storyline, Chris Benoit stole Kevin Sullivan's valet women, who most people knew was his wife. And then in real life, they hit it off. And in real life, Chris Benoit stole Nancy from Kevin Sullivan.
Oh.
And then 7 years later, he killed her and the kid that they had together. And Kevin Sullivan. So
that's insane.
And
the writers are like, we could not write this out.
So just imagine. I think that's something. I have a lot of people give Kevin Sullivan a lot of shit for some reason, just because he was a booker when WCW was really bad. But I think, one, he's one of the best heels of all time. Two, imagine him. Imagine being Kevin Sullivan right now, even where I'm I basically wrote this angle. My wife left me, and then she got murdered by that dude, and I have to. That's something I have to live with. So when I when I actually got to meet and talk to Kevin Sullivan, and I made it a point to sit and talk to him because I'm like, this guy's probably got a pretty rough life.
Yeah, seriously. I mean,
and
granted, he can't own her decisions. I mean, she left him.
No, but still, like,
but at the same time, I understand. He opened
put
that
it in
door.
motion, and that's where people booking, like when the business and marriage come into play. Historically, it's been bad. Even going back to, I mean, Steve Austin back in when he was wrestling in Texas. He had a whole big thing with this other guy, Chris Adams, over their respective spouses, and then it kind of got entangled in real life, and then Steve Austin ended up marrying Chris Adams' ex-wife, but then she ended up and then they ended up splitting up, and then Steve Austin dated another wrestler's ex-wife, and then that went bad. Because there's a lot of behind the scenes of like dating. And it's usually a bad idea.
You're working together. You're traveling together. You don't get
and then
out.
We'll
not
even get into Chris Candido and Sonny Tammy Sitch because that's a whole other.
This is crazy.
Tragic story.
See,
there's a lot of tragic stories.
history. This is insane.
And that's where we just all Ann Storm was saying is there's a lot of tragic stories involving marriage and angles.
Yeah, you might be very, very careful.
So
for sure.
I have faith in Rusev and Lana because again,
I do too. Well, and honestly, I really do think that Enzo and Cass are really upstanding.
Oh yeah,
they're
good dudes. I mean, Enzo's a good man. You can just see.
I don't see them going down that road.
But
you never know. Human nature. I get it, but still,
well, again, when people are working together and they're on the road together. But Rusev's there.
We have one thing we have to talk about, and I have to go soon. So
we have to talk about AJ Styles.
We have to talk about the wardrobe malfunction. And my favorite thing about this is how AJ Styles is like, it wasn't a malfunction.
It got
snagged on a chair. And I'm like, buddy, when you had a hole in your pants and it's down your butt, that's a malfunction. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, it's unfortunate because. So TLC happened. It was amazing. It was a really good pay-per-view, solid matches. But that Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles match, holy shit. I mean, they were doing it's a miracle they're not injured because AJ Styles did injure his foot and he wasn't able to compete on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll be back in the action this week. But yeah, so there was a crazy spot where AJ like got thrown onto a bunch of chairs and he got up and there was a clear hole right on his ass. And I am in the Tyson Fights message board. There was a girl who was there and she was giving so she had some pictures that she had taken and we were trying to figure out is he wearing underwear under there because it doesn't look like it. And I'm like, I think I saw some black fabric, but that would have to have been a thong. Or because she was saying
been a lining.
Yeah, that's true. Because this girl, she was there and she had a good view. She was sitting in the front row, on by the aisleway, by the entrance ramp, and she's like, "I saw his butt crack, you guys. There was some crack."
I'm sorry.
AJ,
they showed it.
Tried to say, "Look at this. There's no way." And I'm like, "Don't you understand when it's at an angle? Do you understand about angles? Because when it's angled, you could totally see your butt crack, dude.
Right.
Watch the footage."
Yeah, so I posted it in our group. By the way, our page is MBWS Wrestling Chat. We are on Facebook as a group.
If you go to radiobrendo.com, there's links to all that. Radio Brendo, not Radio Brendo.
No.
That's my other show. MBWS Pod.
You do that every week. You're going to have to put our podcast on there because people are going to go to Radio Brendo looking for
Well, there's a link.
There is. Okay, but I put
MBWS podcast.
WWE put together a clip that really genuine.
I love that they're owning it.
They totally are. Rock on. It's smart. There's no way you can't. But I shared that in the
Twitter.
group so that you can see it. And that's his ass. That is hanging out. That is flesh.
It's unfortunate.
It is. Yeah,
it was an amazing match, and that kind of overruled all of that.
I thought it was hilarious. I think it's great. Well, so and again, you owned it, so that's good.
TLC was really good. Alexa Bliss is our new women's champion. We'll have to talk more about that next week. She has been so hot on the microphone Let me tell you.
I know.
Dude,
She is. She's totally talented because I don't like her. So
she's
she's
great.
doing a good
She's
job.
so great. I was
I like
gonna
her
say
hair.
we get into that more next week. The Wyatt family are tag team champions,
Yeah.
and on Talking Smack this week, Rhino basically blamed. This is why everybody's got to watch Talking Smack. Rhino blamed Heath for the loss and took off. So I think they're breaking them up already, which is a bummer. Because this is the biggest thing that's ever happened to Heath Slater. So we'll see where Heath goes from this. But they'll probably feud for a while, and then I don't know where they go from there.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised they're doing this so quickly, but I think they want to give some of the other teams, like this will put American Alpha as the top babyface tag team, and I think they need to be in that slot. And you've also apparently Jey Uso is hurt right now. That's why the Usos aren't around. But then you got some other but like right now the Wyatts are like unstoppable, and they're gonna be doing a Freebird rule like the New Day, so any of them can defend the belt.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, they just said that, and I'm down with it. I'm
My
glad
only note on the Wyatts is that their intro is like the longest and the most boring to me. I know it's like super dramatic, but I'm like on TV, like, come on. This is like
I think it's just building up that mystique.
To me, I always fast forward. I fast forward through the Wyatt intro, and I'm really sorry if I disappoint people in that. I'm just like, I get it. Moving on.
I think it is goofy how now they have like Randy's music and then it kind of segues into it's kind of goofy.
I think it'd be cool if you're there, but I think watching it on TV for that long, I'm going, dude, stop giving this intro a 2-minute airtime. This is like precious, and stop it.
Yeah.
That's my only.
There was some other stuff I wanted to talk about, but we'll save that till next time. We're going to be recording on Wednesday next week, but we do have to finish off with our Instagram this week, and that is, you brought this up, so we're doing it. It is Maurice's Instagram, the one and only. It's Maurice, Maryse, Mizanin, Mizanin, because that's her real last name, because that's the Miz's real last name. And her Instagram is exactly what I would expect. She's pimping some products. It's her and her bikinis. She's got her cats. She got her dogs. It's her and Eva. And the Miz Participation Award was one of the best things I've ever seen. That happened on SmackDown. But I like her little, what is that, a min pin? It looks like a min pin.
Yeah.
Her dog and a lot of pictures of her boobs and
her outfit always reminds me of like those circus girls. Like,
yeah.
I always feel like, oh, we're going to the circus. Like, and her little hand, her crazy hand gesture. Her hands are really flexible because mine can't bend like that. She's got that
gesture that she does, that instant heat. I like it. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah. I probably won't be following her, but she's.
Yeah.
She still sounds like Batty from Anastasia to me.
All right.
But it is a good one.
For this week, be sure to go to mbwspod.com. mbwspod.com. I think I said mbws podcast. That's our Twitter. Yes. That is our Twitter. mbwspod.com and benvnetwork.com for all the other Benv Network shows. I got some other shows on there. Radio Brendo Man, Popsicles, which we might do another one before the holidays. Who knows? But Phil and I are doing it twice a week, so you can check that out. RadioBrendo.com and on BenvyNetwork.com for all the other Benv Network shows. Lots of great stuff there. Hit us up. Our email, it's you can email brendoman@gmail.com or go to mbwspod.com. Use the contact form. Hit us up. Go to our Facebook group. We'd love to talk to you. And keep watching wrestling and have fun. Any last thoughts, Veronica?
No, I agree. Watch wrestling.
All right. Watch Total Divas if you're not,
and watch John Cena this weekend on SNL.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be great.
I'm excited.
Me too.
So that's gonna do it for this week. For MBWS, I'm Brendan Creecy.
I'm Veronica Steele,
and we'll see you next time in the ring. Sorry, we went a little over.
No,
there.
That's okay. I'm gonna save this real quick. Save. 37, right?
Yeah.
Cool. We are getting there. And I will send you the file tomorrow And I hope you have a good night. I hope you feel better.
Yeah, me too.
Sucks being sick. Boo.
Yeah. Yeah, because I wanted to resist taking a sick day because I'm like, sick days are one for your they're not for when you're sick.
But you made it through most of the day, so that's good.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. All right. Well,
I will
take it
talk
easy.
to you next week. You
All
too.
right.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.